players. The team will be having a training session later on this afternoon at the Orlando Stadium, which you are more than welcome to join us. 2-hour flight, so we should be in Lola around 12:35. The coach will give us an update on the squad and as well as the plans moving forward. It is a four-nations tournament, ladies and gentlemen, involving Angola, Zimbabwe, as well as waste of time. I will now hand over to the head coach.
Everybody, I think probably a good idea to start with is to mention the situation regarding Rulani, the coach that we wanted to invite onto the camp. As everybody knows, this tournament, this camp, has been really compromised in terms of time for preparation. The warning times for us to know that we were leaving and know that we were taking part was very short. And what that's done, it's made the lines of communication also a little bit short, and it's possible that protocol wasn't followed 100%. So at this moment in time, Rulani is not going to be taking part in our camp. We understand the situation at Pirates, and we just want to let everybody know that the intention was to bring a young up-and-coming coach onto the camp and give him that experience, and that was a positive gesture, and I think all parties will look to try to readdress that in the future. But at the moment, Rulani will not be joining us. With regards to the players have already reported. We've got, I think Butler's got a slight hamstring that will be monitored this afternoon before we go to training, and then we'll make a decision if he should take part in the training or not. Apart from that, I think everybody's just about. I haven't spoken to the doctor this morning because I've been at a meeting at Safa House, but last night's investigations didn't show anything major. We only have one session, which is today, and in that session we're going to we'll try and do a snapshot of a few of the different elements of the game. We'll do some work on the back fours because there will be two brand new back fours that play together. We'll do some work on our possession, we'll do some work on our penetration. And obviously tomorrow, when we get there, it'll be just a light warm-up and maybe some set plays, which is a normal pre-match. So we won't have a lot of preparation time, so we probably will do a bit of talking tonight at a meeting. And I'm hoping that the energy that you get from some of the youngsters coming in and the experience that you get with some of the more hardened players, that will mix pretty quickly and we'll get a decent fighting unit. Even though we know that the last results against Angola 0-0 and Zimbabwe and Zambia were two defeats, even though we know that, we think we can put together a decent fighting unit, and we'll be certainly looking to go there to compete. Thank you. No, I think because the whole camp was, I think I got confirmation myself of the camp about 10 days before we were due to leave, so the actual negotiations, if you want to say, for the camp were protracted, and then therefore everything had to go very quickly, and I just think that possibly we in a normal world would have given Pirates greater notice, and they felt a little bit it was sprung on them, and that's understandable because they're in a pressure situation at the moment. So, but we're all agreed on the concept. The concept is a good one, and that we want to do it, and Rulani's a good candidate. So no one's arguing. It's just a question of let's make sure that we do it at the right tempo that suits everybody.
Tempo from BNC. Question to Rama. Rama, how important is Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Look, it's our responsibility as a team to make sure that we do well. Yes, we come from a very big setback as a country, as Bafana Bafana, but unfortunately as a footballer you have to dust yourself and move on, and so you don't want these youngsters coming in here and then they find us with our heads down. We have to lead the way. We have to give them confidence. We have to give them that there's still courage, there's still hope that they can do well for this country, and we have to lead by example. Most importantly, you can't be telling them to do this and the next thing you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So it's important for all the guys that are here to just try, because there's no time, like just try and gel and try and get a team that will compete and represent the country. It's going to be very difficult. It's never easy playing Zambia, Zimbabwe and Angola, because they know they want to beat South Africa. They know that we have good players, but we have to show on the day that we're good enough and apply ourselves and work hard and win, because if they are really like small countries, then beat them and then we talk. So for now, we're just going to go out there, fight and win the games.
Now from Tiso Blackstar. Coach, given the way this whole arrangement, you mentioned even last week when we met you what you would have preferred and what ultimately you preferred to do. What do you hope we can still get out of this exercise, and so that it's not entirely a waste?
No, it's a good question, because it was short notice, and it was sort of on off, and the danger is there that you don't get enough time to sort of make proper preparations. And I have to say the preparations have been compromised because of that. But we still only have this one as preparation for AFCON. We have the COSAFA break. Well, we know the pitfalls there, and probably we're going to try to have, coinciding with COSAFA, another squad on the road. Those will not be the most senior players, I'm guessing. So then you've got the World Cup, and then you've got very quickly the qualifiers will be on top of you. So it was important that we could get as many of the senior players as we wanted, and now we are choosing to try and prioritise a bit of development to broaden and strengthen the squad and the pool. What I want out of this is that we get some positive signs, both from the ones that you think are leaders and from the ones that you think are contenders. And if we get those positive signs, that will be more valuable to me than winning each game 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 and scraping through and not really preparing me for what's going to come up, which is be the AFCON qualifiers. So I want some good positive results there. And yes, I would love it to be at the same time as winning the games, but I really, really want to get a lot of good information that will equip us to go on and have a good qualification. So it's a balancing act, because I think I read somewhere that yes, while the coach is trying to gel a team or gel players together, he knows that the country want to win the games. Yeah, of course I do. But what do the country want? Do they want me to then therefore say, no, I can't take that risk. Let's go the safe route. Let's go same old. Do you do that? Or do you throw all the kids in together and let them sink or swim? You don't do that either. And I think what we're doing is it's a calculated risk, but no matter, someone said you never lose, you either win or you learn. And I'm hoping we'll win and learn. Yeah.
Coach, from the major,
Well, I think I've addressed the one with the limited time. We're going to try and maximise that. The Sundowns players, we can't bring them in today and train them properly today, so we'll recuperate them today. We'll try and do as normal a session as we can. And I just want to give the younger ones a little bit of a feel for it. I mean, if I say to Rama, you're playing right back in a flat back four, he knows that role. You know, he knows his role when the ball's on his side, he knows his role when the ball's on the far side. An experienced player will know that. Some of the younger players, even though they've been at senior in the senior team, they won't have that crystal clear, and they maybe won't be able to repeat it in what they perceive a high pressure situation, you know. So you learn from that, which ones can, which ones can't. But I want to give them a fair chance, and I want to outline what we want to do without throwing a load of information at them. And then we'll see, you know, like Rama says, the senior players will be important to guide them in the right direction, to put an arm around them if they don't have a great game, you know, and that sort of thing. Would I have liked an extra 4 days with them, with the whole squad? Yeah, I would. I'd like to give him 4 days as well so he can get back into the swing of things. But we don't have that, so there's no point moaning about it. This is what we've got, and we're going to get on with it.
Yeah, Coach, I know this is a tournament, and also maybe the games of different exercise where you don't have to go.
You can never be sure because, you know, it may not. I've got also Angola's last game that we've broken down. I was at Supersport to watch that game for the reasons here, and also the Wits game. You can get an idea of the style, and you can get an idea of what the coach has in mind. But can you be certain? I don't think you can. I think, you know, you may end up reading too deeply into things. I think I want to take the bigger brush strokes and address that, and then I want to work on our basics so that we compete and we're not too fixated on watch that left winger because he cuts inside when he's not playing, you know. So I'd rather take the big brush strokes, and then we'll talk about that. But then I want Rama to be thinking about his game and that they can take care of him as well.
Can we have the last 3 questions, Buddy?
My name is Coach, in terms of style of play, are you a coach that believes in their own philosophy when coaching a national team, or does the 5 dominant teams, let's say, let's use 5 instead of 3, does the 5 dominant teams in the domestic league also add to the type of play or style of play that you'd like to have in the national team? And how far are we from, I mean, it's almost a year since you've been appointed. Do you think we are close to finding that type of football that you want to like to see the national team play?
So, I mean, it's a good question, because you could ask a broader question. You know, when you're a national coach, do you influence the style of play, or does the country determine the style of play? You know, I remember an England team that contained 8 Liverpool players when Liverpool were at their best. Ron Greenwood took over and he said, look, I'm just going to pick the players that know each other best and hope that they can deliver for England. I think the main actors in the country will always flavour the way you're going to play. I've got a belief that we in South Africa we have certain strengths, and we have certain things that we do that limit our strengths. And I think if we don't produce more of our strengths and take away that, we'll always be in that sort of up and down spiral. For example, our speed and mobility is great when we play in combination play, like against Burkina Faso. But if you're still moving that quickly when you're about to finish, we'll keep blasting the ball over the crossbar, and we'll always say, we have no strikers. You know, so it's when and how, and so that's more of the things that I can manage in the national team. Don't think I can create something that's not there already, because I just don't have the players enough. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with the general feel for football in this country. With tactics, you can maybe tweak it here and there, but I want to develop what I believe to be good South African football. And I think everybody's agreed on that. It's just, can we do that? And can we can we get more of that and less of that, you know? And I think that's what I can do.
Thanks, Coach. Last two questions.
Coach, you and for Rama.
Like I mentioned earlier on too, it's important that we lead the youngsters like Mokoena, like Frosla, like Mudiba. We have to show them the way, you know. They're good players, that's why they're here with us. And it's important that the senior players that are here, like your Itu, Tessin, and Villa, they take them by the hand and show them that, look, it's not a club level, it's a national team, and we need to work together to achieve one goal, which is to represent the nation and win the games. Like the coach mentioned, we don't have enough time, but we'll do our best to try and get the team that's going to compete, you know, to win the game, not just to go and say we're competing. We need to win the game. We need to get our confidence back. That's the most important thing. Frostla and them, obviously, they've played in the under-20s and under-23s. And Mokoena is playing the Confederation Cup, so they know what to expect when you travel outside the country. They know it's not going to be easy, and like I said, we just have to guide them and lead them and show that we're here to win the game, and most importantly to represent our country. So, yeah.
Can I just add a little bit to Rama there? You know, we've spoken about the squad, and there are youngsters in the squad. There are inexperienced players in the squad. They don't have to be making their debut, but there are a lot of inexperienced players in the squad, and we have experienced players. Now, those youngsters, inexperienced players, they can change. You know, I've had the England under-19s where we had some players technically better, much better than David Beckham, much better than Wayne Rooney, but they didn't go through. And I had a young one that played in every game of every year group, but never made the seniors. You know, so even the experienced players we have here, we have other experienced players in South Africa that maybe put their hand up and will get back in. You know, so this is not. We don't have a squad here that we're saying this is the future squad. We're saying that this is a principle that we want the senior players to be leaders and show they're leaders, and we want the young ones to show I can adapt to international football and put my hand up. So that's that one. So that people don't get two names on shirts at the moment. This is more a concept and a principle. Yeah. We've decided we're going to try and look at everybody. So it will be very much, which is what I said. There were two probably completely different back fours, unless we get injuries, and then we'll have to double up. But I don't want to send Rama back to his club having played 2 games in a short space of time. I would prefer he plays 1 game and he's on the bench or whatever, and if he needs to come in, he'll come in. But I want to see everybody. I want to give everybody a chance. Maybe some of the very younger ones will come in for 30 minutes in 1 game and 15 minutes in the second game. But I would prefer to see everybody, and therefore we're trying to work out beforehand who would suit playing against Angola and who would suit playing against either Zimbabwe or Zambia, and picking 2 teams there to have a basic template.
Thank you. Any takers for the last question? Chad?
Coach, a bit more luxury. Do you feel that tournaments such as these would actually benefit the national team, or do you think that it's difficult to take players out of their comfort zones here, where they get the best hotels and the PSL and stuff?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that. I mean, certainly for me, the fact that Thailand would have been luxury, I don't know. I don't know if it would have been. It would have been very, very hot. It would have been a European opposition. It would have been an Asian opposition. It would have been a Gulf opposition. So, in terms of development, it would have given a lot. That was my reason, not the luxury. No, look, I think if we've been given a tag prima donna, I think that's because the gap between expectation and reality, the bigger the gap, the more the criticism, you know, and the more varied the criticism. And one of those criticisms, it's easy to say, we live in South Africa where we feel other people want to come here, we don't want to go there, you know. So then you get that you'll get that criticism. I'm not sure if I agree with it completely, but what I do want to emphasise is that one of the reasons that we talk the way we're talking now about deepening the squad and bringing in the younger players and keeping the experienced players that have shown good attitude and that is because we want to make sure that the attitude of the players is spot on. We want to make sure that the players that come in from abroad don't come in as prima donnas and big time Charlies with egos. We want them to come in as good leaders that will impart their experiences to the other players. We want to see younger players who are mentally strong, who look at being in the national team as being a challenge and an honour, not as a reward and a pat on the back, you know. So I'm not sure it's 100% right, but we want to make sure, and that is one of the reasons I think this is important that we embark on this sort of strategy and be a bit brave, because that's the only way we'll change it. You know, we can say, oh dear me, we lost. Okay, let's go back. Let's pick all the most experienced players, and we'll get through the next one, and I won't get criticised. I don't think that's going to take us anywhere. And so I want to make sure that the attitude is right, and that's something that we will definitely work at.
Thank you, Coach. Gentlemen, as mentioned, we will be having a training session which you're more than welcome to attend